My YouTube channel isn't explicitly a political channel. However, like everything else, it is political. As you can probably tell by my other videos, I am a leftist. More specifically, I'm a post-Marxist, or a Marxist who thinks that the revolution is no longer inevitable, but I still want to see a world free of capitalism. So keep this all in mind when I'm talking about this, because I'm coming at this from a very left perspective. Trump won the election. This isn't going to slow down the growing movement of fascism in America, but neither was a Harris victory. The Democrats have been going more and more to the right, year after year. And at their core, they're still supporting a government that is fascist at its core, even if they are a little more subtle with it. I don't know how many times this year I've heard vote blue no matter who. Why do the Democrats feel that they're owed my vote? Why am I voting for a party that is actively sidelining me and my values? The genocide in Gaza has not been addressed. Palestinian voices are silent in the liberal media. There's no talk of universal health care, the rights of workers in any serious capacity, and yet they still think that I am obliged to vote for them. Harris and the Democrats are almost as against my political values as Trump. But the Democratic Party thinks I'm obliged to vote for them because they perceive themselves as a left-wing organization. Harris and the Democrats lost because of their continuing shift to the right. Even a victory for her would have signaled nothing more than that America is inching towards fascism, if not just delayed by 4 more years. That being said, I don't think it's unreasonable to be scared of the Trump election. I mean, we've seen his policies, we've seen Project 2025. And the years that he was in office was not the best for America. I think what's even more terrifying is that he won the popular vote, that people agree with him. A majority of this country agrees with him. All these people want the rights of minorities, of women to disappear. They voted against workers' rights. These people are voting against their own self-interest. And why? Because rich people told them this is how they should vote? So how do we navigate this road ahead of us? I think on one hand, this is going to cause the decline of America, and that's probably a good thing for the collectivist cause. On some level, I would consider myself an accelerationist. So the worsening of our daily lives, the rising costs, the eroding of our freedoms, etc., is the exact shift that people need to realize how neoliberalism has ruined our country and the world. But on the other hand, I come from a place of privilege. As a white male, I'm not going to experience nearly the hardship that other people are going to. It could get really bad before it starts to get better. The rights of women, the trans community, the LGBT community are going to be impacted. And Trump has already shown his disdain for the radical left, so how far is he going to go to antagonize this political group? On another hand, I don't want to think things are going to get that bad. Trump is a kind of caricature of the postmodern absurd hyperreality that Baudrillard writes about. A person that is not only directly obscene in his communication, but absolutely disgusting in his actions, being cheered on by his supporters as a literal gift from God, a Jesus-like figure that came down to save America. Churches are outright endorsing him for president even after he stated he doesn't consider himself Christian. I'd go on like this for hours, and I can list a million different reasons, but that's not going to sway anyone's mind. People have already made up their mind on Trump, whether it's because of the economy, whether it's because of this divine right of sorts that people think he has. It's more than enough for a majority of America to continue supporting him. Harris doesn't exactly have a clean track record either. She's the second most powerful person in this country, and look at what's going on around us. But because they're not Trump, the Democrats think that our vote is owed to them. They're continuing to take the high road, to play by the rules, as the Republicans are undermining them at every turn, and it's the reason why they're continuing to lose. The Democrats cannot keep catering to Republicans, who never in a million years would vote for them, and expect to win them over. The road to fascism seems inevitable. Even if Harris won, the Democrats are continuing to shift further and further right. So why are we kicking the can down the road instead of just facing head-on what we need to face? Let the country go into decline. Release the stranglehold of our imperialist nation and hopefully neoliberalism off the world stage and let other countries flourish instead. Maybe the global south will finally get off its feet, now that the weight of the most powerful country on earth is gone. I think the outright approval of fascism by the Republicans will be a great thing for the left. When people see the way in which the country is moving, the hope is they will begin to consider these alternatives. Socialism, communism, collectivism, they're all dirty words in America because of the strength of the neoliberal fascists in our country. But the lives of Americans are going to continue to get worse, and this could spur something inside of people to start searching for another system, maybe? I mean, still, it's incredibly disheartening to see how many people voted for this fascist party. I'm not scared about Trump himself. I'm scared about the neo-Nazis, the insurrectionists, the Christian nationalists that are going to feel empowered, vindicated, heard by the results of this election. They're going to feel that they're leading the charge, and in a way they kind of are. I mean, these so-called Christian morals are going to be imposed, the morals that are going to cause genocide, familial separation, starvation, and a denial of healthcare to minorities. And we're supposed to sit back cordially while this happens. This election's over, so where do we go from here? The election is not the only time that you can flex your political rights. Start getting active in community projects. And if you don't have any in your area, start some. Join online groups, forums, and connect with other like-minded people. Buy guns. Learn how to defend yourself. The threat of violence is looming over us, and you don't want to be unprepared. I, for one, have not been active enough in the advocacy of others. I can read all the theory I want, but at the end of the day it means nothing if I'm not able to do anything with it. Right now, I'm researching organizations in my local area to join, so I can take part in advocating and aiding others. I can't act like an outsider looking in anymore. I have a duty to help those in need, if I consider myself any kind of leftist. I mean, think of all the causes that need help now. With healthcare, with homelessness, food security, legal assistance, with Palestine, anything. We have to start looking out for one another. It's something that we should have been doing already, but now is a great moment to start introducing people to this movement. Check in with others. Take care of others. Build a community around yourself of people, of like-minded people or not. Not all conservatives are inherently evil. A lot of them vote just on the economy, which, I mean, is sad that the priority of theirs is their own pocket rather than the lives of others. But still, it's something that can be reasoned with at least. You may not get through to fascists or Christian nationalists, neo-Nazis, but maybe your neighbor that reluctantly voted Trump. If you start talking to them, build a friendship, start introducing them to these ideas, maybe it'll change their minds in some way. Just get out there and do something. If you're not unionized at work, start advocating for that. And stop posting online about how much you hate the other side. It's not going to help anything. You're just being angsty. We can talk all day online about what we can do, but unless you start doing something, then it's all in vain. As I'm doing my own research, I'm going to put some links in the description for organizations, for nationwide organizations, that probably need some help right now. I think the impact on trans lives, on undocumented migrants' lives, on abortion rights, I think those are some of the most pressing issues right now. So I'm going to leave some links in the description on organizations that I've found that'll best help. And get out there and start going to some protests. We cannot just sit idly by anymore. We need to get prepared to fight back. The right-wing authoritarian movement is getting stronger and stronger with or without the president on our side. The neoliberal democracy that we live in is dying, and this wouldn't change even if Harris did win. I mean, she was campaigning with Dick Cheney, for God's sake. If that's our choice for a left-wing candidate, something is going wrong. I didn't vote in this election. I didn't spend enough time looking into third parties. This is a regret of mine, and I really feel like I should have researched more before the election and just written someone in. When the next election comes around, I will be voting third party, once I find a candidate and a party platform that I can support. I encourage everyone else to do the same. Look at what third-party candidates you'd like to support. See if they have a local branch, and see if you can do anything to support them. Ultimately, I don't believe that this is the last election of our lives. The neoliberal system is going to continue wreaking havoc on the world until something is done to seriously upheave it. I hope that liberals will begin to shift further left, or at least we can convince some of them to. Start having conversations about the values of the left. Make people uncomfortable. Talk to everyone, Trump voters, neighbors, coworkers. Don't look at the people on the other side as evil, as inherently evil. There are those that certainly are evil, but most of them are fairly reasonable. The election was determined by economics. People see the cost of living increasing and decide to switch gears. This doesn't make them an evil person because they want to survive. Have the hard conversations with these people in your life. Ask them these questions on why they vote the way that they do. Come at it from a place of understanding, not condemnation. Another thing I've started doing is archiving resources. I've already been downloading Marxist texts and videos and other media that might be banned or taken out of circulation with the new administration. How many times have you seen these people talk about the destruction and the eradication of the left? We need to make sure this doesn't happen. And one way we can do it is by keeping hold of these texts that we see as valuable resources. And finally, there is a way out of this. Being a doomer about this election gets nothing done and only serves to strengthen the capitalist cause. Get out there, take action. Your local and state politicians should hear the opinion of their constituents. Run for an office if you want to. Show people that there are alternative ways of thinking. And of course, if you want, read and recommend theory. In the description, I'm going to link some books that I think are really important right now. A lot of introductory texts so people can get their feet wet into this ideology. So let's start having these conversations. Start introducing these ideas to other people. And most of all, create and build a community of like-minded people. And keep each other safe. We're going to have another chance at this. This isn't going to be the last hurrah for us. And we need to make sure that when the time comes, we're ready for it. So talk to other people, talk to them online, create communities. Let's get together, and let's build a better future for us, for our children, and for the world. Because ultimately, we just want to see everyone happy. We want workers' rights, we want the rights of minorities respected, and we want healthcare for all. And free healthcare would be even better. So thank you all for watching. This isn't my usual content, and I do plan on going back to regular philosophy videos. But I think it's impossible to separate the philosophy and the theory from the real-world effects of what's actually going on. Right now I'm planning to upload a video about the hyperreality from Baudrillard. And this election is a great example of all of his ideas. And it's just another way that this theory comes and plays into practice. Thank y'all for watching. If you want to stick around, you can always subscribe. Or give me a like if you like the video. Comment if you have anything else to add. If you have any resources for people. Or if you just want to connect with others. Drop a comment. And until next time, you all stay safe.